All right. So in this one, um, this is kind of a cool one. I think I have this backwards in here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fast forward because I don't want to give up my last video that I'm going to show you today. That's a good one. All right, so here we go. All right, you guys will like this one. All right, question, comments. Deb Griffin, you are very welcome. You are very, very welcome. All right. So, this video of the Syracuse goalie, this is kind of cool. So this bothered me when I saw this, as most of these videos do. Gives it away here. Hector might get an easy one, and he does. Hatchet for Nick Turn already. This is awesome. Here's a replay.
That's 2 goals now. Direct results of blown clears. You can't have that against a team like Army, who's so disciplined.
All right.
Does so well.
Let's talk about this. So, was this the goalie? Somebody can fill me in this. Was this the goalie that was at Towson and then was also somewhere else and then went to Syracuse? Like this drives me crazy. Because you know that you guys remember that company back in the 90s called Successories that had like those team building, posters and stuff. Well, that there was a competing company called despair.com. It was called Depressories, but then they turned it to despair.com. So it's funny because instead of like motivational, slogans, it was kind of pessimistic slogans. And there was one that I always loved. It said relationships. It was a poster of a broken chain, and in the middle of the so it was a chain with a broken link, and it said the common thing between you and all your past failed relationships is you. Right. And so, for these players that transfer schools and and even in college too, like for football, I get it. Sorry. For football, a lot of these guys are trying to go pro. They're bouncing around. They're trying to look for playing time. I get it. But in lacrosse, it's like, really? It's like, come on, man up and be part of your team and be loyal. Because when you leave one team expecting to go play somewhere else, but you still aren't very good, well, guess what? You get to take you with you. All right. And so so I'm pretty critical of that. But so this particular play, this is a bigger problem, right? So this is a coaching issue. This is an issue where, so I believe the lacrosse goalie of the future, when they leave the cage, they will act and play just like a midi, just like a short stick with the ball. Right. That's the level that we want them to be at. Right. We want them to be that athletic. Or we'd like them to have those types of stick skills. And at the D1 level, all these guys have phenomenal stick skills. Now, they might not be the fastest guy on the field. Sometimes they are, like we've seen, like that UVM goalie, Cornell. His coach describes him as like the best athlete on their team. That's cool, right? And we saw him like score on a fast break, right? Like or assist a fast break. But the idea here is that in this particular play, all right, there's 2 long pulls here, run into the sideline to chase a loose ball, right? So this ball is going out of bounds, and can you guys hear me okay? I think you can hear me okay. So this first long pull goes out of bounds and rakes it to keep it in bounds, right? Now there's a second Syracuse player that you can't see right now, but you'll see him right here. This guy, he also scoops that ball in bounds, or maybe it's the Army guy here, scoops it in bounds. And that's the right play, right? So, for coaches and goalies, for coaches, like one of the best things you do with a ground ball drill is roll that ground ball towards a sideline, towards an end line. Don't just like roll it out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a field somewhere where it's not really realistic. Roll it somewhere and have perspective. Tell them like, okay, the net's over here. Right. Or like if there's not a net in the area and you're working on a dead piece of grass, like what, in the corner, just go like, okay, we're going to do this. So you got to create these situational things, but you're going to say like, okay, our net's here and the opposing team's net is over there. Right. So that way, when somebody comes up with a ground ball, they're not just looking to go right back to the coach so that you can get another rep in, because now you've wasted the applicability of that drill. And so this has a lot of that feel to me, right? Is that this goalie here comes out and you can tell from like right now, this goalie is plenty athletic and he should just head up field. All right. He should just head up field. But you can tell that this has been coached out of him at some point. Like maybe it's the Syracuse coaches that says, yo, man, we don't let our goalies run a field. Well, that's dumb because you have to be worthy of the situation, right? That's the deal. You have to be worthy of the situation. If you're not worthy of the situation, then you fail, which is what happens here. But this goalie doesn't fail because he doesn't have good stick skills. This goalie doesn't fail because he can't run. This goalie fails because a coach has failed him and said, "Yo, we don't run upfield." Because if all he had done is run north, then this doesn't happen, right? So right here, he should be taken off with number 12. Just taken off with number 12. Like running upfield, 12 should stand up, set a pick for 28, and off he goes. That's what should happen. Because if this was any other player, right, like a midi, like a shorty with a ball right now, then that's exactly where he would go, and that's exactly what would happen or should happen, right? But because it's a goalie, people freak out and go, "No, don't go, don't run upfield," and that's I'm sorry, but that's where you can't coach out of fear. You can't say, "Hey, I want you to make this choice because just in case that fails." Right? Just in case you turn upfield and get checked. Well, guess what happens here? He turns downfield, he turns around, and then he gets hosed because the timing's off. Now he dodges one guy, dodges a second one, right? Now here, he's got a second chance to take off, right? Second chance to take off. But somewhere, again, this coach transferred from Virginia, right? But wasn't he at Towson before? Someone told me he was at Towson before he was at Virginia. So here's his second chance to run upfield. And yet he's still, it's like the elephant story, the story about the elephant. Like you take an elephant when they're a baby and you chain them to like a tree and they realize that they can't go. Eventually they just give up on going. And later you can take a full grown elephant and put like a little tiny stake in the ground and chain them to that. And they just give up. They don't think they can go. Right. That's the deal. And that's like the elephant story. If you don't believe me, look it up. But the idea is that, the idea is that this is a blown play, and this is the second turnover in this game, I believe, that resulted in a goal. Like, you're gonna shovel that backwards to a long pole, right? No, we got to be moving upfield, man. Move upfield, move upfield, right? Also, I don't like having a long pole, like although this is a bit of a busted play, but this bothered me. So your goalie. Okay, I don't care if your goalie is 16 or 6 or they're like a COVID redo and they're 26. The idea is like we're thinking offensively. I don't care if you've got a long pole. I don't care if you got a goalie stick. I don't care if you got a short stick. If you're out of that crease and you're running up, like we're thinking offensive. Now, yes, sometimes we move backwards to go forwards, but the idea is that we're looking towards the other team's goal and we're going to draw and dump. And in this case, he has beaten 2 players and now he's going to go upfield. Like he could have gone upfield here, like right here. This would have been easy and perfect, right? Because he's got 2 attackmen behind him. We still have numbers heading upfield, whatever. And then here he dodges one, makes a nice move there. That's a sweet move. And then, but like no. So this is where what I can't stand is when I see a good goalie coached into a bad play, right? So don't be that coach. Let your guys run because again, this is the first quarter, right? This is the first quarter. Yeah, they're down by 2, but there's a lot of game to play. So that's the best time to teach your goalie to take risks, right? Like take risks. Um, it's what they say like about investing, right? It's like when you're young and you're making money, you can afford to take risks. But hey, as you get older, you want to be like, I get it. It's like, oh, in the fourth quarter, you hold it back, right? Whatever. But this really bothered me because This goalie is better than that. And that is not a physical issue. It's not a technical issue. Like, he's got plenty of stick skills. It's a coaching issue. And someone said, yo, we don't run it up here. You just get it to a lump hole. Well, that's dumb. That's why you're ranked 14th in the country. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for listening wherever you are. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you like this, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. When you're ready, head on over to lacrossegoalieuniversity.com/coaching so I can work with you and your goalie. And while you're at it, check out athletespecific.com to learn more about mental performance and high performance. You may not know this, but I work with athletes in a variety of sports. Lacrosse is my love, but man, I love athletes and the families who support them. So head on over to athletespecific.com and check it out. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.